What's up guys, my name is Owen Crook and today I will be teaching you how to set up the camera control feature on your quads. So in order to do this, we're going to need a flight controller that is capable of running Betaflight 3.2, and you're going to make sure you have a spare PWM signal pad, like an LED signal pad on your flight controller. You're going to make sure you have a camera that has an OSD control that can be plugged in. You're going to make sure you have the right wiring set up, so you need your camera harness and you also need the OSD plug. The most important feature is going to be a resistor between 150 ohms and 600 ohms. Now we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and solder up that spare LED pad on my flight controller. Make sure everything else is tinned up and ready to go. Now we're going to get the camera all wired up. Now we want to take our OSD harness and we're going to cut off the end that plugs into the normal control panel, and we're also going to cut off the ground wire because we don't need that either. Now we're going to take this wire and our resistor, we're going to trim it down nice and short. We're going to take that resistor and we're going to solder it directly to the blue line of the OSD cable. Now you might want to take a little extra time to make this nice and clean. You can actually get the resistor down in between that wire if you want. Now you're going to take that resistor and you're going to solder it to an open PWM pad, so I chose the LED pad here, and just get it soldered nice on there. Make sure your exposed wire isn't touching anything else. Now once you've got that all soldered on, you can see here we're only touching the LED pad, nothing else. You might want to do a little bit better of a solder job than I did. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to plug in the camera. Put your normal camera harness in. Once you got that in, you want to attach that OSD wire plugged in with the resistor attached. Now we're also going to take the time to wire up our receiver. Now you don't need any fancy telemetry or anything like that in order to run this. You can use any standard receiver. Now once you have everything wired up, we are good to go into Betaflight. Now you're going to make sure you have 3.2 already installed, and we are going to type in resource list, and what this will do is it'll show us all of the signal pads on your flight controller. You can see here we've got a couple different things that pop up, and there you see the camera control feature. We got that on B09, and you can also see LED 1 on B05. So those are going to be the two things we're looking at. What we want to do is we want to move the camera control feature to the LED 1. So we have B09 with the camera control and B05 with LED 1. Now in order to get the camera control onto LED 1 spot, we just type resource camera control, and we would normally type B05, but what we actually have to do first is we have to remove LED 1 from its current spot. So we're going to type resource LED space 1, and we're going to move that to an open spot. So in this case we can move it really anywhere that says free, but for ease we're going to keep that and we're just going to move it down to B06. So we set that to B06. Now what we can do is we can go and we can change our camera control. So we redo resource camera control, and we're going to set that to B05, which is where LED 1 was previously. So we're going from B09 to B05. And we hit enter, and that change is made, and then we want to type save so that actually saves onto the flight controller. Now once all that's good, we're going to double check. We're going to type in resource list again and make sure that all of our resources are set. You can see our camera control moved to B05, LED 1 on B06, and nothing is on B09, so we are good to go. Now to open the camera control menu, what you want to do is you want to set your throttle at center, and you want to do yaw to the right. Now this gets your menu open, and you can use the right hand gimbal stick to operate your menu. Now you have to keep your throttle on the left at center, and in order to select a menu you actually have to use the left stick and move it to the right to select. With throttle at 0, if we push the right stick forward, we open up the secondary menu in the Swift, and you see we actually have to set our throttle back to center in order to operate that menu. So if you ever want to be moving around within the menus, make sure your throttle's at center. Now you can switch through little options, so like the on and off option, we can move left and right, but if we want to actually select exit or change our defaults, we have to use the left stick. So we slide down to exit, we use the left stick to the right to select exit, and we step out of the menu. Now set our throttle to center, yaw right, and then we are back in our menu once again. Now we got to keep that throttle at center to make any changes. You can move up, down, left and right through some of the smaller menus like so. But if we want to select exit or go into any of the second pages from this menu, we have to make sure that we're using throttle center, yaw right. That's pretty much it for the controls. So remember, keep your throttle at center, and you can move forwards by pushing up, backwards by pulling down, and cycle through smaller menus to the left and to the right. To select into an option, push your left stick into the right with throttle at center. That's all I have for you guys. Thanks for your time. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment below, or feel free to check out the GitHub page, which is in the link in the description.